What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Vibe Zone podcast for episode 10. Now, I know I haven't been online that much, but that's because I'm the only co host left. Today, joining me is Carter O'Daniel. Say hello.
What's going on, guys? Good to be here.
I'm glad you are good. I'm glad that you want to be here because we have a very exciting topic to talk about today. And so instead of having the traditional reading the comments or anything like that, trying to see if any users have topics for us, we actually have a pre-decided topic, and that is the history of the Nobel Physics Prize. Now, before we get into the Nobel Physics Prize, I think we must first ask ourselves about the Nobel Prize in general. And the very first question that usually comes to mind when talking about the Nobel Prize itself was who founded the Nobel Prize? Well, that would be none other than our good friend Alfred Nobel. He founded it in 1901. In fact, in 1901, I wasn't even alive. But other
That
than,
is true. That is accurate.
but
I've checked with the fact checkers backstage, and they have confirmed that that is the truth.
all right. Well, other than that, I mean, in 1901, that was the first Nobel Prize ceremony, and that's when we had the very first Nobel Prize winners. And now we're going to talk about the process for being nominated and winning the prize in general. So in September, the invitations are sent out to the candidates, and usually there are about 300 to 350 candidates. In fact, in 2020, the candidates that were invited back in 2019 before the 2020 ceremony, there were 329 candidates that were invited. Now, I don't know if all 329 accepted the invitation, but judging from that, it's a lot of candidates and only so many prizes to give. But those are the candidates in general. You know, um, there are multiple subjects, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
for a prize. Like we said, we got the physics prize. There's also the peace prize. Those are usually the two that come to my head. Um, but yeah, they get the invitation, and they have 4 months to either accept or decline the invitation. And if they accept, they must have it submitted by January 31st. So yeah, 4 months. That's a lot of time. And
Hmm.
to be honest with you, I don't know why anyone would ever decline a nomination for the Nobel Prize.
Yeah, you kind of have to be a little crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like it's it'll look good, and if you're like a high school student like me and Carter, and you somehow get nominated or even win, that looks really good on a college resume. I
Straight
know.
into college.
You will literally get into Harvard or Yale. Like it's
There
no
you go.
question about it.
It's
And
just that easy.
yeah, any Ivy League school you want to go to, Yale, Harvard, I think Stanford's one, I don't know. Brown, you could go to those. Actually, I don't know if Brown. I feel like Brown is definitely an Ivy League school. I feel like,
I think so. If
yeah,
not, then it's definitely a good school.
yeah, it's like Brown, Princeton, Yale, Harvard, maybe Stanford.
Stanford, Vanderbilt, is that Ivy League?
I don't think so because they're really good at sports, so I wouldn't really think that they're Ivy League material. Sorry, Vanderbilt fans and
Sorry, Vanderbilt.
students, but you're just not Ivy League material. Anyways, from March to May, the Nobel Committee sends the names of the preliminary candidates to specially appoint experts for their assessment of the candidates' work. So what that means basically is they get experts in a room and they start talking about the candidates and like what they've worked on, what their accomplishment is, and why they deserve to be the winner of the prize in general. Nothing is final yet, but that's really the process. This is where the process of choosing a winner really begins. And then from June to August, the Nobel Committee puts together the report for recommendations to be submitted to the Academy. This report is signed by all members of the committee. So it's still part of the decision-making process. Again, nothing is final, but this is where the experts really get a sense of who they're voting for to win. And in in September, the following September, not only are the next batch of invitations sent out to the candidates that will be participating in the next prize ceremony, But this is where the decisions are final.
Hmm.
So the committee submits the recommendations, and actually, I did lie. Sorry, October is where the decisions are final, but yeah, September is where they actually send out the recommendations. In early October, the Academy selects the Nobel laureates in physics through a majority vote. My laptop turned off. Uh, this decision is final without appeal. So yeah, this is where the decision is final. And then finally, on December 10th, the ceremony is held in Stockholm, and the Nobel laureates receive their Nobel Prize, which consists of a Nobel medal, a diploma, and a document confirming the prize amount. And prize amount really just kind of sounds like there's money involved in it, and I feel like there is. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to get a medal. I'd like to get a diploma. That'd be cool. Hopefully, I get one in like 2 years, or like a year, less than a year actually. I don't want to stay for 2 more years. I don't want senior year 2 years in a row. That's
Mm.
that's not what I want to do. I'm sure senior year is really fun for 1 year, but 2 years in a row, I can't handle that. But yeah, that's what they get, and the cycle just repeats itself. In the September that already passed, the invitations are sent out, and then again, they only have 4 months to decide whether they're going to accept their nomination, and that's pretty much how you get nominated, and hopefully that's how you win.
Yeah.
And here to talk to us about the former winners of the Nobel Physics Prize, that we're back into physics now. Caro Daniel is going to talk about some previous winners.
Yeah, there have been some pretty interesting winners that are really, really cool. I picked out a few that personally I found really interesting, and I think that you might as well. Like the first winner, as you said, in 1901 was the first award, and it went to Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen. He was awarded the prize for his expertise and expansion in the field of electromagnetic radiation. And it's even considered the father of Röntgen waves, more commonly known as X-rays. What's interesting about him is that he actually stumbled upon X-rays on accident. So he was testing whether or not cathode rays could pass through solid glass. So he wrapped his cathode tube entirely in heavy, really heavy black paper so that like no light can escape. And then he noticed that there was this really intense green light that was able to escape from the tube and pass through the paper. And so he did it, and it went onto a nearby projector and stuff. And so he did a few more experiments, and he concluded that light can sometimes pass through solid objects. So usually it just leaves a shadow on an object. And these rays that can pass through said objects were dubbed X-rays because at the time the X variable meant unknown, kind of a mystery, and he had no idea what it was. So they were the X-rays, unknown rays. And he then found that the intense light, the X-rays, could actually even go through human skin and give visible access to tissue and bones underneath, which is what we commonly now know as an X-ray.
Yeah, no, that's really cool considering that in hospitals they use X-rays and they just kind of
Hmm.
see through your skin, like you said, and you can see the bones and see what's wrong with you, like why are you hurt,
Yeah,
all that type of stuff, like and
yeah, it
how and
saved
how
a
you're
lot of
hurt.
lives because back then, before the X-rays, if there was a problem on the inside and doctors suspected that there was a problem on the inside of you, they had to actually go into surgery and kind of cut you open to find out what the deal was. But X-rays eliminated that process. Well, not entirely, but for the most part. So it really saved people's lives.
Imagine getting cut open and then realizing there's nothing wrong with you.
I know, how terrible would that be? That'd just be unlucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got our second award, which was given to two people, Hendrik Antoon Lorentz and Pieter Zeeman in 1902. They expanded upon the idea of radiation, specifically in relation to magnetism, and also did really cool stuff. And then 1903, we have husband and wife Pierre and Marie Curie. They won the award due to, surprise, surprise, their joint research and expansion of radiation. Uh,
Gotta be more original than that.
yeah, you gotta shake it up, people. Come on, you can only do radiation so many times. It was cool though that Marie was the first woman to win the award, though many would soon follow after. And then in 1907, we have the first American who won the award. His name was Albert A. Nicholson, and he was awarded the prize due to his precise optical precision instruments and their use of spectroscopic and meteorological investigations. Now, it's a pretty well-known fact amongst high school students that have had Mr. D that interference in several light waves with the same wavelength can strengthen or cancel each other out if in phase with one another. Applying this concept to his work, now I'm not saying that Mr. D'Alessandro is old enough to have taught Nicholson. I'm just saying he taught something that Nicholson somehow knew, and so he applied this concept to his research and ended up creating what he called the interferometer, which uses semi-transparent mirrors in order to divide light waves to prevent interference. And then after being divided up, the light waves are paired back together in order to purposely create phase displacement, which generates various patterns in order to measure the lengths and velocities of light with extremely precise and accurate precisions. Yeah, really cool guy. Really, really smart.
I think that's something that you kind of want at your parties if you want really cool lights, you know?
Exactly, right? He could
Yeah,
get the strobes going and stuff.
yeah, he knows what
Yeah,
he's doing with the light waves.
exactly. And then we've got 2004, the year that we were born. The prize was awarded to David J. Gross, H. David Politzer, and Frank Wilczek. They all contributed to this discovery of asymptotic freedom, which refers to the decrease in strength of interactions between special kinds of quantum fields. And our last talking point, the winners of the 2020 Nobel Physics Prize. So just last year, the most recent one was Roger Penrose, Reinhard Genzel, Andrea Ghez. Penrose was awarded the prize due to his advancements in the understanding of black holes, essentially stating that black hole formation is a robust prediction of the general theory of relativity. And Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Ghez were given the award mainly due to their discovery of a supermassive object, compact object at the center of our galaxy, which ended up being a black hole.
Now, is this person the same person that took a picture of the black hole?
No, that was Katie Bowman. She helped develop she was one of the leading figures that helped develop the program that was able to take that picture.
Ah, very interesting.
Yeah, and that's it. All caught up. The next award will be given out October 5th, a Tuesday at 5:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That is wicked early.
Yeah, I am definitely going to be asleep.
Well, I mean, it's amazing that. How amazing would it be to actually win the award, though? Like, that would be such an honor.
It really would be cool. I mean, the bragging rights alone, it would just be awesome. And then the prize award, it differs from year to year, but I think last year was something like $1.1 million. It's just
Imagine being
insane.
a millionaire, dude. Being a millionaire would be awesome, honestly.
That would be awesome.
Well, I mean, anyways, that's kind of all the time that we have for today. If you enjoyed this week's episode, you can look at previous episodes in the videos that we have in the videos tab. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Again, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, maybe leave a comment down below, maybe get some topics going for hopefully another episode of the Vibe Zone podcast. And hopefully we find other co-hosts. And I'm sure, I sure hope that the one that's right here, the guest that I have, is thinking about becoming a co-host himself.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah, I mean, you could be full-time. I mean, it's a weekly thing, but
Full time, get paid. Let's do it.
you're not getting paid.
I'm busy that day.
You're not getting paid. Anyways, as always, keep the good vibes going.